Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Yes, it has been how long now? 4 weeks? Oh my god, I'm sure you all must have missed me, but guess what? I miss you all too, and I want to wish you all a very happy new year. At the timing of this video, the recording of this video, it is actually Saturday, January 2021. What date is today? January 2022 rather. Saturday, January 2022. This is the time this video would have been recorded. I know most of you are probably are saying to yourself, it's actually the 22nd of January and you're just telling us happy new year. I can bet that none of you aren't getting any happy new year since the 7th, the first week of January. I'm sure the happy new years would have been over. But guys, can I tell you, there has been a lot of things that occurred in December 2021 where I am concerned. You would have seen the title of the video is Happy New Year and 2022 Review, 2021 Review, 2022 Let's Go. This is the title of the video. This is not a Bible study. We are not doing a video on Seventh-day Adventism, right? We just want to, I just want to talk about the year 2022, right? What we would have accomplished thus far, right? And basically, I owe you guys an explanation for not being around for so long. So where should I start? Well, I'm actually in a different job at the moment, and this time I am working in a private sector organization. My previous job, I was in a public sector organization, right? Now, that previous job, you would have seen the background image, lots of flowers, building and so forth. That's the workplace, my workplace. You won't be seeing any of that ever again because I no longer work there, right? A lot of things was actually happening where my workplace is concerned. As a matter of fact, it started from June 2021 and it gradually build up, right? Now, regardless of what actually happened at my workplace, I am still grateful, right? And due to this gratitude, I will not say certain things regarding what happened at my workplace because it would be like I'm trying to smear them, you understand? Some rather negative, bad things, unfair things if you ask me, right, where I am concerned. But you know, Jamaica, them say you must live down things and so forth, you must forget about things. Sure, because I can put it behind me because after all things religious would never have been what it is today. It would never have reached where it has actually reached today had it not been for that place where I'm actually coming from. The reason is the background image. Very few workplaces you can actually get such an opportunity to do something like that after work. Where I'm currently working now, I can't do none of that. Right? I can't do none of that. So that's one. And then two, where I worked, I was awarded a lot of time for myself because I work at a school. Anytime COVID-19 is causes lockdown and persons can't get to go to school, I benefit from 3 days at home, getting paid and so forth. The work is not very hard and all these things. As a result, I had lots of time to produce a whole lot of videos. Right? Since I start All Things Religious, which is in July 2019, right? Right after, in the middle part of the year. If you listen to many YouTubers, they will tell you that for to be a successful YouTuber, you may want to produce at least 2 videos per week. If you're going to produce 1 video per week, it must be a hot video for the week, right? The less video you produce is the more quality it must be. And if you're only going to produce 1 video, it has to be a really good video. But the recommended amount of videos is 2 videos per week. So if you calculate 2 videos per week, right, since 2017, the half of the year, or the middle part of the year, each year has 52 weeks, right? And if you check the half of the year since I started in the middle, that would have been 26. So if I'm doing 2 videos per week, 26 times 2 would have given you 52. Now when you add 2020 and 2021, those 52 weeks in the year, each year you multiply by 2 since it's 2 videos per week, so you would have 2020 giving you 104, 2021 giving you another 104, both of them together give you 208. So when you check 2019, I started in the middle of the year, so 26 times 2 give you 52. So 208 plus 52 will give you a whopping, let me see, how much? It would give you a whopping 260. Do I have it right? Yes, it would give you 260 videos. And I produce 285 videos. I think, am I calculating right? 285 videos in total. This video would have made 286 video. Right, the year, if you count since this year I started, I rightly should have produced 6 videos since the start of the year, since the recommended amount is 2 videos per year. If you're checking rightly with me now, I would have an excess of 20 videos. If you're doing the calculation, I would have had an excess of 20 videos. So what this is saying to you guys, that I have exceeded the recommended amount of videos that YouTube recommend persons do. If you're checking since when I start up until now. So even though I have been away for 4 weeks, I would say I deserve the break because I exceeded the amount. You understand? I've been working very hard, and All Things Religious has reaped the reward of this hard work. Sure, I would have wanted the growth to have been bigger, but hey, I'm expecting great things for 2022. Right? I'm expecting great things for 2022. And All Things Religious would have never reached that been able to produce so many videos if it was not for the place that I was actually working before. So though I was done dirty, I am not bitter. I am still grateful, because if it wasn't for them, All Things Religious would not have near reached the amount of videos, right, that I had actually reached. It was a sacrifice on my behalf, because being there, getting so much free time, not getting hard work, as a result, I was being paid a minuscule amount of money. We're talking about sacrificing for the kingdom of God. I could have left it long time because of the money, but I stayed because of the time that I get for myself and for All Things Religious. Because I want persons to basically know the truth and to see the errors of Adventism. So I sacrifice my time, losing money, not being able to gain money that I could have gained had I used my time, seek for something else that might have taken more time from me, but give me far more money, right? But I stayed there for all of that time, right? So that All Things Religious could grow and that the truth could actually go out. So I am grateful for them, because I owe them big time, irrespective of being done. But I'm not going to tell you how I have been done dirty in this video, and when the time comes for me to talk about it, I am still not going to tell you everything, because as I said, I do not want to smear them, right? The place that I was working before, right? Because I mean, what would I have to gain really to actually do any of that? You understand? And I mean, I'm still grateful for them. I'm still very grateful for them. You understand? Because it contributed a lot to my growth in many areas. But you see, all the work drama that I was going through in last year, 2021, which started in June, right? It escalated, as I would have stated very early in the video, right? And I had to part ways with it, right? I had to part ways with it. You're going to love what I'm going to say now. The person who was basically, there was an instigator, right? Who was basically, I would say, manipulating my boss, telling my boss all sorts of things. And that instigator is, take a good guess, a 7-day Adventist. A 7-day Adventist. I can't wait to actually talk about some of the things that 7-day Adventist plotted and so forth. You understand? Which ultimately caused the things to actually happen and for me to eventually leave. Right? For me to eventually leave. But you know, they have a saying in that sometimes God makes you uncomfortable and make things actually happen so that you can move on and push forward, right? When your time is up at a particular place, God would allow in His providence things to happen in order to get you to leave or move on. You understand? So this is how I actually look at it, that this is my cue to actually move on and look forward to better things from where I'm actually working. So though that 7-day Adventists probably think they're actually doing me dirty, I have to actually laugh. You understand? I have to actually laugh if they think that they whatever they're doing, it's going to stop all things religious, or I'm going to pay some huge price, or they are going to be able to crush me so bad I'm going to cry like a baby or something. Nah. Elsie Thunder Larriston and warned me that my time is coming very soon, and I use that as an indicator that my time is coming very soon. That because I'm exposing the 7-day Adventist church, some of them might take it personal and might end up being very malicious, like that 7-day Adventist worker that I actually had, right? Who was the instigator behind everything. I'm so sorry, because I had wanted to talk to my boss personally and to tell her some things that I don't think she actually knows in terms of what is going on. But I left in a way that you can basically call a rather abrupt end. You understand? And I didn't get to talk to my boss, but maybe it wouldn't have, nothing would have resulted from it. You know, but she manipulated, that 7-day Adventist manipulated my boss quite well. And my boss didn't even realize the religious thing behind it, you know. Because let me give you a little something funny here. That same 7-day Adventist, you know, she may very well be even listening to this video, you know. Because she I think is subscribed to my channel, and she would have seen me hammering the SDA church. And she wouldn't stop till she actually it's like she was bent and crushing me while I was actually at the workplace. So I'm telling you guys that a lot has actually been happening. I have been going through anxieties. I've been going through having anxieties like basically every day for the past couple of weeks, wondering what is next. What next my boss is going to come with and so forth, because I know I was aware of the scheming that was actually going on, and I did my own personal research, right, in the company to see the apparent bias behind everything that is actually happening. And I know that the 7-day Adventist is the instigator behind everything. Both of them together. But my boss and that 7-day Adventist perhaps think in themselves that they had me fooled. You know, my boss could very well actually be listening to this, because they think I'm stupid and I'm completely oblivious of everything. But in Jamaica they have a saying, you play a fool to catch wise. And when you know that your hand is in the lion's mouth, you take your little time and take it out. That's a Jamaican saying, right? Because I knew that my hands is in the lion's mouth. All I had to do was to basically sit back, observe, and basically try to protect myself. Not say anything, because I know if I say anything, it's probably not going to go anywhere. So I carefully planned while they were planning, you understand, and did my thing and got out of there. But throughout the drama, guys, I've been going through a lot of anxiety. I couldn't produce a video because remember now, you know, I'm on the brink of changing job. I don't think I would lose job. I don't think I would have lost my job, you know. Right? The reason why they wouldn't want to fire me because of what was actually happening, and because I was a government worker, right? It's not so easy for them to fire me. So the thing is, you know, on one hand, they were at my mercy, and at the next hand, I'm at their mercy. Because something actually occurred there, you know. And because of what occurred there, they would have liked for me to actually stay there. I'm gonna give you just a small hint. The issue was about, it was a monetary issue, right? Wherein, based on what happened, it is basically said that I owe them cash, then, so to speak, and they would have liked me to basically stay and they take back the cash, salary deduction, right? They would take back the cash salary deduction and to basically pay off that debt. But the way in which I actually owe them, you know, is rather unfair on my part, you know. And it's a case where it wouldn't be easy for them to actually like to take me to court for it, because it's their screw up. So because it's their screw up, they wouldn't have a strong case. So as long as I'm there, it's a benefit to them, because while I'm there, they can take back what they say I owe them, salary deduction. So in that sense, they're at my mercy, right? And on the other hand, I'm at their mercy because I'm disadvantaged. I'm at a disadvantage because of basically, you know, some unknown expense on my part, which is not my fault. Right? As I said, I'm not going to tell you everything. So the thing is now, you know, because I am at their mercy now, they are doing all sorts of things because of the instigator. I would say it can be somewhat abuse in a way, right? But I had to suck up and tolerate all of it because I was at their mercy and I had to seek a job first. I can't just leave the job, you know, and end up jobless. I had to seek a job first. So I was at their mercy. But because I know that they're also at my mercy, I was basically playing them as well. I'm hoping that they basically see that line, you know, right? Because they're thinking themselves, because I don't have a degree, I work at a school, you know, perhaps maybe they're thinking themselves that I'm actually stupid. You understand? And this is one of my motivators to better myself academically, because when you're around persons that feel they're so academically up there and you're not, they might think you're stupid and treat you as if you're stupid. Right? So I just play fool to catch wise and act as if I'm stupid and just play them just as though they play me. You understand? Because I mean, you're not going to do all of that stuff to me and then expect you're going to find someone super motivated and super enthusiastic about the work and so forth. Nah, you're not going to take me for a fool. You understand? So I'm hoping that they catch that line. Some persons believe that because you're a Christian, they should actually take you for a fool, but don't let anyone take you for a fool, guys. Right? This is just a talk video to basically let you guys know what was actually happening. It's regrettable that those things actually happen, and that, you know, as I said, it was an abrupt end. Me leaving. Yes, definitely it's not the way I would have liked to leave a place that I've been working at for years. You know? But it's life. It's life. It's life. I'm so sorry that I never got to talk to my boss, you know, to let her in on some things that she doesn't know about that SDA instigator. You understand? You know, to basically share my thoughts on some things that was actually happening. You understand? It's rather sad to say, if you ask me, but I'm still grateful to them nonetheless. I'm not bitter, irrespective of what actually happened. I just wanted them to catch the line, because I don't want them to think, you know, that they're so bright, and because they are bright I'm stupid. I would love for them to actually hear this, so that they understand that I did my due diligence and I know all about what they were actually doing. You understand? But I'm not bitter about it, because they make all things religious what it actually is today. I would have ditched them right from the get-go when they were doing all of what they're doing. But the thing is that in 2021, I still had a lot of videos that was going to suck so much time out of me. So I needed them at the same time, irrespective of what I would call abuse, you know. I need them because the free time that I have, I need to put out my videos. You understand? So I did my hardest videos and put them out in 2021, so that I know that in 2022, the videos that I have, they are not so hard. I don't need to be producing 3 videos and more in 2022 based on where I am actually at. So I can actually cruise through 2022, and I can seek another job that will take more of my time and pay me more money, because I did the work already. I don't need to be working so hard on all things religious anymore. So that was my plan, and that was why I stick with them throughout all the unfair plays and games and so forth with them, because I still needed them. You see how much I love the Lord and I love the truth, guys, that I was willing to suffer at their hands, knowing that I could deliver myself, you know, because I still have subjects and so forth that can get me better jobs, you know. I know that I could deliver myself, and what I need to do to deliver myself, but I still needed them for all things religious sake. The free time awarded me, the energy that is awarded me, because I don't do much hard work there. Right? We're talking about a love for the gospel and a love for the truth. This is a sacrifice I was willing to take for the sake of all things religious. Right, guys? And don't take this ministry as a joke thing, guys. I was willing to suffer, right, for the truth's sake, while I could have delivered myself. Right? And all things religious, it has been a great year. Last year, nonetheless, I had chosen to a particular style, right, for my ministry, where I would not only talk about the errors of Adventism, but I would show how to actually refute them. This is why if you check most of my videos, they are 20 minutes long, and you understand, because I show you guys, anyone who watch my channel should know how to deal with Adventism. Once you're watching my channel for long, you won't only know how to answer them, you'll know how to answer them, and you'll know how to refute their arguments. You will understand their arguments and know how to refute them. So this had been the focus of my ministry. Not just to show the errors, but show you the basis behind the errors and how to refute them. So this is why I had to produce so many videos. Right, guys? This is why I had to produce so many videos. So, I'm basically going to end. I gave you an explanation as to all that was happening with me, right, last year, and why I was busy for so long. We talk about 2020, 2021 and so forth. So hey, 2022, let's get ready, guys. Let's get ready for 2022. I have so many grand and amazing things for you guys for this new year. I will have a video where I will tell you about what's going to be our plans for the new year. Right, guys? Also remember, look forward to a video that will come very soon where I talk about that SDA. I will talk about that SDA, but it's just that I don't have the time for that person right now. So when the time is right, I'll tell you about the instigator who was working in my at the same place with me, that Seventh-day Adventist, right? Who never liked the fact that I'm exposing their church and all the little things, are some of the little things that they were actually doing, right? So that you guys can understand that this is a very dangerous work that I'm actually doing. It's very dangerous because Seventh-day Adventist is the most dominant denomination in our little island, Jamaica. Right? So just as Elsie warned me, tell me the things that happened to him and so forth with Seventh-day Adventists, and I tell him that no, I'm not on your level yet, so they're not going to see me so much of a threat to actually target me. That experience, I think I spoke too soon. That experience with that Seventh-day Adventist showed me how malicious they can be when you're exposing their organization. And we're going to talk about it very soon. We're going to talk about it very soon. Trust me, I have some amazing things for you guys in 2022. But I'll say no more. I'll end with that on that note. So, with that being said, guys, I know this was very lengthy, but bye-bye now.